Welcome back to Mac Talks Football, and we have just witnessed history as Bodø Glimt have become the first Norwegian team to qualify for the semi-final of a major European competition. And what a quarterfinal that was! So let's go ahead and talk about this game. Lazio have been eliminated in the quarterfinals of the Europa League by Bodø Glimt, and it was it was a really good game as well. It went like I would have expected the game to go. I said it was going to be a tough game for Bodø Glimt. Lazio at home with their fans, they are going to create that atmosphere that it becomes impossible. It becomes hard for any team, for a visiting team, especially a non-Italian team, to come to Lazio and to play a game under lights there. It was always going to be tough for Bodø Glimt, and Lazio were really up for it. I think they gave their one of their best performance in the last couple of months in this game alone. The way they the moment the game started, they were on it. They started creating chances. They went for every 50-50. They were a lot more physical than they have been recently, and this they got the reward early on. They scored inside the first 10 minutes. It's become 1-0, and that pumped up the fans even more. That the comeback was on, and Bodø Glimt, you could just see the inexperience of Bodø Glimt and the players, that they were not really able to handle the pressure. There were a couple of mistakes from them as well. It became very easy for Lazio to take the control. They were the one who were dictating the entirety of that game, and they basically dominated, if I'm being very honest with you, for the majority of that game. At the first half, they completely owned the game. But the main problem for Lazio was they were just not able to create those clear-cut chances that were really gonna threaten Bodø Glimt. And when they did, they were not able to convert those chances. I think the goalkeeper for Bodø Glimt, he had an amazing game. He made a 3 or 4 very crucial saves for his side to keep Lazio at bay. And the more the game went on, the first half they were simply a sensational, Lazio. But the second half, as the longer the game kept stayed 1-0, the more confident Bodø Glimt became. The more they started to get into the game, and the more frustrated Lazio and the players and the fans started to become, because they were saying that they were the better side, but they were not able to get the job done. And Bodø Glimt in the second half, I would say after the 60-minute mark, if I'm being very honest with you, they started to get back into the game. They started to create their own chances, and then Lazio were really in a way, in a bit of a pickle, because they wanted to score that second goal, and they wanted to make sure that they don't concede. There were a couple of scary moments for them, but just like Lazio, I think Bodø Glimt had one good chance, if I'm being very honest, in that second half, where they came very close. But apart from that, they really did not create that many chances. Their basic job was to defend, and it looked like they were, successful in defending their 2-goal lead, because we were in the 93rd minute when Lazio finally go ahead and they scored that goal. I mean, you cannot write stuff like that. They score in the 93rd minute in injury time, and it becomes 2-0 on the night. It becomes 2-all on aggregate, and to make matters worse for Bodø Glimt, they have a player sent off, and you're just thinking that Lazio are going to go ahead and get the job done. At the first half of extra time, Lazio go ahead and they get that first goal. It becomes 3-2, and you're thinking the fairy tale of Bodø Glimt is going to come to an end. But they don't give up. This is a team that does not know how to back down. This story has been incredible for the last 5-6 years, and then for them to go ahead and score a goal again to make it a 3-all, and we go into the penalties. And before I say anything, I personally think I have not seen a worse penalty shootout than this. It was such a bad performance from both sides. I mean, to start the penalties, the first person from Bodø, the first player from Bodø Glimt to take that penalty, I mean, it was such a poor penalty. It was such a poor penalty. Lazio, they scored their penalty. It becomes 1-0 to Lazio. The fans are up for it. Bodø Glimt scored their first penalty, and then Lazio missed their penalty. It becomes 1-all after 2 penalty, and then it keeps getting worse and worse for Lazio. They keep missing the penalties, and Bodø Glimt keeps scoring the penalty. It ended up, I think, 3-2 for Bodø Glimt on the penalties, and they qualify for the next round. They qualify for the semi-final. the first Norwegian side to qualify for the semi-final of a European competition. I mean, it is historic. It is such a massive achievement for that club. And if you look at them, like 6 years ago, they were not even in the main league. They were in the national league, and for them to now be the face of Norwegian football, it is something really special, something beautiful to look at. And they are going to be over the moon about it, and they are going to wait, and they're going to see now to wait for a couple of weeks to play those semi-finals against Tottenham Hotspur. That is going to be a really good game of football because you just don't know what Tottenham are going to do, and I think Bodø are really going to love playing against Spurs in those semi-finals. I think those games are going to be really good. But for tonight, I think they came with a plan. Their plan almost worked, and then it failed, and then they had to do something really special to come back in from that scenario where they were at 3-0 down and 3-2 on aggregate. They are a man down, but they had it enough in them to score a goal to take it to the penalties. And then after they missed that first penalty, they still had it enough in them mentally to make sure to come back. I think the goalkeeper had a really good game throughout the night, whether it was normal time, whether it was injury time, then in the penalties. I mean, the guy scored saved 3 penalties. What more can you ask from him? So it was spectacular throughout the night. For me, he was the man of the match of the game. And congratulations, huge congratulations to Bodø Glimt for qualifying for the next round. Lazio, on the other hand, I mean, they would be so disappointed. They were by far they were the better team. The way that they were playing, they should have basically equalized in that first half. They should have put the game to rest in that first half, scored the 2 goals, make it 2-2. In the second half, they could have easily go ahead and done the job. But they were just not able to put the ball in the back of the net early on. They were lucky that they scored in that 93rd minute because it looked like they were gonna get eliminated quite early on. But then they go ahead and they get the chance, they take the lead, and then to throw away that lead, I think that is really gonna hurt Lazio and their fans because you finally get the lead, you make a comeback from 2-0 down, you're making it 3-2 on aggregate. The opponent team has a man down. You are the home side, the fans are behind you, everybody is expecting, and you are the experienced team as well. Everybody expected Lazio to go through, but unfortunately for them, they were just not really able to hold on to that lead. And now the momentum shift, now the concentration shifts. Europa League is gone. Now they need to concentrate on Serie A. 6 games remaining. 6 games remaining, and you have about 6 or 7 teams fighting for those European places. There are 6 currently in that Conference League spot in the Serie A, but it is not a guarantee. They can move up to 3rd and take away Atalanta's position, or they can easily drop down to 8th and be where Milan are at the moment. So they're like, as I say, about 6 or 7 teams and just 10 points separating them, so all of them fighting for those European places. So it could turn out to be a very great end to the season and they can qualify for Champions League, or it could turn out to be a disastrous and they could not be in Europe at all next season. So all the concentration for Lazio are going to be on those 6 games, and it's going to be quite an interesting end for them towards the end of the season in Serie A. But for tonight, unfortunately, they were by far the better team, but in the penalties, I think they just lacked focus. As I said, I think it was a really bad penalty shootout. As I said, I really don't think I have seen a worse penalty shootout than the one I saw in tonight's game. Both of the teams were really poor. All the penalties, I think, out of the 10 penalties that were taken, I think only 2 or 3 were really good. Apart from all of them were really poor penalties, and we saw the result that none of them were able to score in the goal. But yeah, commiserations to Lazio, and huge congratulations to Bodø Glimt. That is from me in this video. Let me know what you guys thought of the game, what you guys thought of Bodø's performance, what you guys thought of Lazio's performance. Do you think the fairy tale is going to continue and they are going to go all the way, or do you think Spurs are going to be the party purpose for Bodø Glimt? Let me know in the comment section below. And like the video, share it as well. Click on the notification bell and of course subscribe to the channel. We are trying to get to 500 subscribers before the end of the season. So please go ahead and subscribe and help the channel out. Until next time, bye bye.